What's going on, team? Back again. Felt really inspired to jump on and speak about this topic very specifically because it's a massive transition that I've just gone through again. Constant transitions and constant growth evolutions, but funnily enough, circling back to where I once started in my construction business and feeling at peace with it. I talk to a lot of people, I talk to a lot of trade business owners, and I listen and I watch and I observe body language and the language that they speak. And 99% of them are trapped. They're trapped in their business. Whether it's actually their business or the cycle that they create for themselves, they're trapped. And I only say this from experience. Over this 12 months, I've been rebuilding up my business and geez, it's like taken off and learnt so many new lessons and all of that. But what I stopped doing along this process was being free within it. Having internal freedom within my business, within my life, I chose to not have that freedom. I chose to sit in the suffering and the challenge of what business is. You'll see and hear a lot of people talk about how business has to be hard, how you have to work really hard in order to achieve X, Y, Z in your business. And the reality of it is that it's all bullshit, because those that eventually scale will tell you, oh, work smarter, not harder. But it's like, why not work smarter from the beginning? Why not choose to be free and make decisions from a freedom place rather than like having to grow your business really fucking quickly and amplify and explode it to this point where it's like, right? And the whole way you're just like putting fires out and you're constantly stressed and you're constantly tired and not having time for yourself and not doing those things. Why not just take a breath and ask yourself, what's the next decision that I can make right now for my business? How can I serve my business? How can I show love to my business and give it the energy that it deserves? Now, for me, I've spoken about this before. I put a lot of energy, a specific energy, a lower level of energy that I like to label as under 200s, if you know, but it involved a lot of whinging and sooking and complaining and like, oh, this is bullshit, like why is this happening to me, and not wanting to deal with any of the problems rather than just like push them away. So what happened when I was coming from that energy was I was trying to force my way through it and trying to get it to a point where it's like, well, eventually once I do XYZ, I will get to the point where I don't need to feel like this anymore. Rather than just being like, what the fuck am I doing here? Taking a deep breath and having these challenges and problems come to me, taking that breath, like I said before, slowing down and coming up with a solution. The more that I talk about this, the more I speak it into existence, the more I realize how much of an impact the way that you think actually controls your entire reality. The mindset and the paradigms that you have. Because at the end of the day, the way that you see everything, the way that you see the world, the way that you see yourself, the way that you see your partner and your family is a choice. You can choose in this instant to observe things differently. You can choose in this instant to be like, oh, my business is like fun and enjoyable and there is no shit that goes wrong in my business. Because I just perceive it that way. The way that you view things, it's your choice. It's an internal choice to be like, I view my business as a beautiful business. I love my business. And whatever comes with that, I will treat with love and respect and care. And the more that I do that with my business, the more that it will treat me with that back. But just through the idea of choice, choosing what you want. Because it's hard to believe that if you choose right now, you can change everything. If I choose to view my business as a multi-million-dollar business that has a fuckload of freedom, that has an incredible crew, I can choose that right now. I can choose the way that I think. I can choose the way that I feel, the way that I perceive this. But then what will happen is you go, okay, cool. I begin to choose this. I begin to choose that I want to be at a higher frequency, a higher energy level, and I want to give my business the love that it deserves, and I want it to grow at a beautiful rate, and I want the people there to just be so fucking stoked to be there, and I want the clients that are coming in, they're fucking loving every minute of it, and they're treating us with respect, and it's just this cycle. It's like, okay, I choose that. Then this is where the work now begins, because your habits, and then your conditioning don't necessarily align with the choice that you're perceiving to have. So you see these things, you want these things, you're like, yeah, cool, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then you go, yeah, sweet. And then it's like, you go to the gym for the first time and you're really excited for the first 2 weeks and you're smashing it and you're going 5 to 6 times a week. And then you sort of get over it. And the difficulty and the conditioning of not being someone that goes to the gym 5 times a week starts to sink in. So you're like, your habits, they start to kick back in. You start eating some chips. You start eating some shit food. You start fucking up your sleep routine. And you go back into the old conditioning. Now, this is what happens, right? So there's practices for this, but it's like you can choose in an instant to change everything, to observe everything differently, to see things differently. But what will happen is you'll have old habits and old conditioning that stop you from allowing you to succeed for an extended period of time. So, I was about to go somewhere, but basically what you want to do is you want to decide how you want to view your business, how you want to see it, how you want to look at things. And then you want to implement the practices that rewrite the mindset, rewrite the paradigms, rewrite the neural pathways, and recondition your habits to maintain that level of reality. Change can happen very quickly, and then reality takes some time to catch up. But it is about staying consistent to your choices. So once you've made that first decision of choosing that you want to see business in a different way, you want to see life in a different way, you want to feel abundant, you want to feel high energy all the time, you want to build this business of freedom and relax and ease and peace, and the clients you bring in, choose that right at this moment. Now observe your actions moving forward. What are the actions that I'm taking? What are the habits that I'm creating now? And then I want you to be like, okay, cool. These are the actions and intentions that I want to implement. I want you to look at those actions and implement those actions and intentions that you want to implement. And I want you to be like, okay, cool. How does this feel to do right now? How does this feel to do? If it's pretty overwhelming, cut it back a little bit. People want change like this, right? People want like their life to be completely different the next week. Where the reality is of it, it's like there's some fucking conditioning that we've got to unwire here, right? Some years, generational traumas for some people that needs to be unwired, unconditioned, slowly, eventually becoming a different person. I've been on this journey for 5-6 years now, and I'm still constantly unwiring the shit from the past. So it's like implement steps continuously for consistency and compounding growth, and you will see the evidence, right? So have those intentions and actions written down, find what feels comfortable for you, and then do that for 2 weeks. Do some simple tasks for 2 weeks. Make it a habit. Make it a habit, right? Then the next 2 weeks, stack a habit, right? They call this habit stacking. And then what you want to do is you want to 10x that shit and manipulate time. Right? You don't want to be like that. You want to just implement small, consistent habits that stack over time to compound your growth. It's what you want to do. You want to you want to see the life that you envision. You want to continue to see it. You want to continue to see the business that you have, treat it with the love and respect that it deserves, and then keep respecting yourself enough to implement these actions, but find a way where you can be consistent with it. Once you do that, 6 to 12 months from now, you'll be a completely different person and your business will fucking take off. your business will fucking take off. But just remember, everything can change in this instant for you if you choose it. You could have a completely different business. You could have a completely different lifestyle. You could have a completely different relationship if you choose to see it that way. If you choose to observe it and perceive it as a specific way that you want it, you can have that. All it starts with is a choice. Choose now, and you could have a crazy different life moving forward. Thanks, team. Don't remember to join the WhatsApp group. Much love.